Hi guys, welcome back to This African Perspective. Okay, so from the title, you guys already know where we're going. Okay, the topic that actually gets a lot of people angry, like it gets them, saying all sort of things, like they get annoyed because whenever you mention that some people actually earn six-figure salary, 120 and above, and they are still complaining and saying they are living paycheck to paycheck or their lifestyle has not changed, they are literally suffering. That is something that some people get very triggered with because for most people who are earning lower than that, they're like, hey, if I earn that amount, I'm going to be good. Or some who earn that amount and are living okay and are living good, they'll be like, what do you mean you're struggling? Then something is wrong with your lifestyle. You need to check yourself. You're crazy. You're this, you're that.
Yeah, so if you're not making at least $7,000-8,000 a month, what are you doing?
Honey baby boo boo sweetie pie. I make $8,000 a month as a lawyer, and I live in my parents' basement. The hell are you going on about?
All right, I keep seeing people on here saying that they're living paycheck to paycheck on a $120,000 salary. And I'm going to tell you why you're wrong and you're just really bad at spending your money. General disclaimer, this is for people that are just single people, no kids, no nothing, no outside expenses. But at the end, I'll explain that you still have enough money left over for those kinds of things if you need. So, $120,000 a year. Anyone knows there's 12 months in a year? If you could do simple division, 120,000 divided by 12, that is $10,000 a month. But oh no, we pay taxes, whatever, 25% of that, 25% of 10,000 is 2,500. Take that off, you're clearing $7,500, $7,500 in your pocket. Awesome. But let's pay for the stuff that we need to live. All right, rent. Highballing rent, $3,000. That's if you're living in LA, you're living in New York City. That's a highball. Most people probably pay $1,500 at most. But say $3,000. You're at $4,500, $4,500 in your pocket. All right. But we want to pay utilities because we like lights and we like, heat. So that's another like $200. Take that off. You have $4,300. Groceries, because who doesn't want to eat and survive or whatever. Another $200 a month for just you. You should not be spending more than $200 a month. If you have roommates or whatever, that's different, but you're splitting the cost. Anyway, $200 a month for you, $4,100. Now let's just say you have a new car, you're paying it off. You got that $500 monthly expense. Take another $500 off. Still sitting at a cool $3,600, which let me remind you is more than some people make in a month. Anyway, but you also have a phone because who doesn't? It's 2023. We all sit on those things all day. That is another $100 a month about. So you're down at $3,500. But say you're someone who also has some student loans. Who doesn't at this day and age, right? So that's another $500, but you're still sitting at $3,000 of cleared money in your pocket. But let's hypothetically say you're also someone like me who recently, I didn't turn 26 yet, but I will be, and I will need to buy my own health care. You get a Gucci premium package, $200. 3,000 minus 200, that's $2,800. $2,800 in your pocket. That is all you technically need to spend. Yes, you still have enough money to pay $40 a month for the gym. You still have enough money to pay, I don't know, whatever the heck you do. But all the expenses you need to pay leave you with $2,800. You could pay for a kid on that. You could buy a house. Start spending your money better. And I'm going to tell you why you're wrong and you're just
This has to be by far one of the most ridiculous takes I've seen on TikTok in such a long time that we obviously know is completely unrealistic. As you could tell, because she turned her comments off. It really just goes to show how out of touch so many people are with how much things actually cost nowadays, especially depending on where you live. Our parents' generation taught us that $100,000 is a lot of money. That's what you should be striving for. That's how much you should be making if you have a really good job. I grew up thinking that if I was a lawyer, if I was a doctor, I would be making six figures and I would be so happy living this cushy, amazing life. When that is completely the farthest thing from the truth in today's economy. We want people that are making minimum wage to believe that, these 1% people that are making $100,000. I hate to break it to you, that's not the 1%. The 1% is making $100,000 every time they scratch their fucking ass. Okay? Not only do you start by taking taxes out of that $120,000, which she didn't do, you also have to be realistic about how people's standard of living is, okay? Nobody wants to live every single day eating ramen, which is what you're going to do if you're only spending $200 a month on groceries. That's insanity. I spend $200 hands down every 2 weeks. And that's me not even buying that much food. That's $400 a month just spending on groceries. Not to mention that I pay in rent $2,000, but people could be paying way more than that. They could be living down in the Loop in Chicago and San Francisco and San Diego and New York City and even smaller towns and still having to pay $3,000, $4,000 a month in rent. On top of that, we have the student loan crisis, where if you didn't have any money growing up, then you were going to have to take out student loans to be able to pay for college. So you could be hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, which can be $1,000, $2,000 payment that you're supposed to be making every single month just for student loans. And if you took out student loans, I guarantee you that you also are drowning in credit card debt, because that was the only way you could afford to feed yourself when you were in college, is to just open these predatory credit cards from these lenders. And so now you have thousands of dollars in credit card debt plus interest that you also have to be paying off every month. Living paycheck to paycheck doesn't mean that you're broke and homeless and destitute. It just means that you spend majority of your paycheck before you get your next paycheck. And unfortunately, we're living in an economy where almost everyone is in that situation.
All right, let's just chit-chat again about that living paycheck to paycheck on a $120,000 salary for a second. First of all, I want to apologize from the deepest part of my soul for grossly underestimating your taxes. If you are someone who lives in New York State, you pay 29.4% taxes on that $120,000 salary, not the really, really lowball 25% that I said. But since everyone in the entire world apparently lives in Manhattan, yes, you would pay 32.9% of your money to taxes if you live in the city. So we'll use that number since everyone in the world lives there, like I just said. This is calculated for someone with a $120,000 salary. If you see their take-home pay for the entire year is $80,513 in New York City. So if you live in New York City, divide that by 12, your take-home pay is $6,709.42. All right, now with all of your beautiful input about all of these ridiculous prices that you're paying for things, I've done some more math, so please pause to read if you feel like it. If not, I don't care. All right, we're done with that. The only number I will apologize about in my first post was definitely health insurance, and that is solely because I forget that as a teacher, I get a good discount on that. So my B on that one. So I put that number up quite a bit. Now you may be looking at those numbers and thinking, see, yeah, I am living paycheck to paycheck. I can't max out my 401k. Well, that's not the point. So for a few things here, you have to realize that you are living above your means if you are making every single payment that you saw on that list. The first thing being, if you are someone coming out of college with all this debt that you claim to have, paying $500 to $1,200 a month, which is fair because, you know, college do be expensive, you should not be trying to get a one-bedroom apartment by yourself in downtown Manhattan. You should either, one, be looking for roommates, or two, just live outside of the city until you can actually afford living in the city.
Hello, my name is Sarah. I'm going to go over the first paycheck of the year as someone who's 26 years old making over $120,000. So I recently got a pay raise from $119,500 to $123,700 with a one-time bonus of $24.50. $60.50 went to my health savings plan, and about $6 went to dental and vision. $5,405 went to my traditional 401k, which is 75% of the check, and I have $159 going to my HSA, which equals to about $5,632, with another 10% from my employer match of $720. And of course, we can't forget about the government, so that's $781. This leaves a total gross for this paycheck $7,277, with a total take-home pay of $862.98. If you guys found this interesting, please let me know and follow for more.
You make $200,000 and still live paycheck to paycheck? Well, after taxes, my take-home pay is only $127,000. That's still a lot of money. Subtract $1,000 for health insurance, mortgage is $5,000, utilities and home expenses are $800, car payments are $1,000, groceries are $900, fun stuff is $1,000, gym is $150, kids' activities are $250, and other bills are $500. So you have nothing left to save or invest. Nope, it's called lifestyle inflation. The more money you make, the more money you spend. You need to follow Addison to be smart.
Tell you how you make six figures, but you live in paycheck to paycheck. And sis, I'm not trying to check you. I'm just, as a financial analyst to the student/client, I'm just trying to help you understand your spending habits so that you can reverse them and get out of this mess. So the first thing you did wrong was you started living the lifestyle of a six-figure earner instead of maintaining the same five-figure lifestyle that you were living on before you started making the six figures. So by you doing that, you have now accumulated more debt than what you can actually handle because you make six figures. So now that you have all this debt and you are overwhelmed, you still have neglected to pull out a spreadsheet and create a budget, or hire a financial planner to help you get out of the mess that you have created for yourself. So if I'm wrong, let me know in the comment.
Here's how I live paycheck to paycheck while making $150K a year. I Uber Black everywhere, and that's $760 a month. I try to go on as many dates as possible, but splitting a bill is still expensive and $1K a month. Having a younger sister is super expensive, especially if you pay for her tuition. I also randomly go to a surfboard for $1K. I DoorDash food all the time, that's $650 a month. I own a spoiled cat, that's $340 a month. I lease a Tesla for $470 and bought this random set of knives for $800 on Amazon. Self-care is around $150.
We're making six figures, living paycheck to paycheck.
Say that again.
I'm going to make this fast. If you have a combined income of six figures, right, it is entirely possible to live paycheck to paycheck, right? If you have outstanding medical bills, student loans, or a lot of kids, that makes sense, right? Sure, I'll give you that. But the next statement after that, he said there are millionaires living paycheck to paycheck. Come here. That doesn't make sense. Those don't coincide with each other. You want to know why? Because there are families right now. A lot of us were raised by families that make fractions of that and manage to keep a roof over your head and food in your stomach for 18 plus years. That's living paycheck to paycheck, budgeting and making that work. You're telling me the same family that makes less than $20,000 a year and someone who makes $1 million a year both live paycheck to paycheck? No, that's not struggle. That's decision making, and that's poor decision making. They just don't know how to budget. There's a difference.
Maybe you're actually living a different lifestyle. Maybe you upgraded your lifestyle. I've said this in another video before. I said sometimes when people like maybe they used to make like 50K and then all of a sudden they start making 150 or 100, they cannot continue living the 50K lifestyle that they were living before, because all of a sudden things will change. You want to upgrade. You feel like you need more better things. You need to, all the things you used to be okay with that was actually very fine for you. You were even thinking you were living a luxurious life. All of a sudden, this is too broke for me. Slowly, you might not even realize when that happens. Unconsciously, you're already living a whole higher lifestyle. But I do think that if you, I know it's hard, but it will be good for you and for your finances if you can learn to actually keep it down. Just because you make a loud amount of money or a large amount of money doesn't mean you have to spend it all on your bills. That money does not have to consistently just go into all the lifestyle that you want to live. Does not have to be that. But at the same time, I also know that yes, I think the cost of living, things shouldn't be as they are. Because if you're working, at least you should have the ability to want to do whatever you want to do, spend as much as you want to spend, but don't spend yourself to poverty. Don't spend yourself and look like someone who is not earning, or be struggling financially the same with somebody who is earning really, really lower than you, because that's going to be bad. That's just all I think. Like, let's just be real. I know it's hard to actually, sometimes majority of us do not have financial, we're not really smart when it comes to finances, but let's try as much as possible to think wisely. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. I really appreciate you guys. Don't forget to click the like button, okay, please. It really helps with the algorithm. And leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And of course, if you love my content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel before you leave and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.